Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of our channel Law Point. This is Reenu Thomas, your host. In the previous session, we have seen that if the property's value is more than rupees 100, then sale needs to be registered. But how does one go about it? That is what we are going to see in this session. The actual procedure of sale registration. This will be explained in detail by Mrs. Praseena Elizabeth Joseph, our advocate on record from the Supreme Court of India. So let's watch this episode.
When you enter into a sale deed, the sale deed needs to contain some essential clauses. Let's see what are those essential clauses. First of all, the details of the buyer and seller, such as their full name, address, PAN card details, etc. Secondly, details of the sale property as to the extent of the area, where is it located, the survey number, village, panchayat, municipality or corporation, etc. Thirdly, the total sale consideration of the property, whether it is paid fully or whether it is paid by installment or whether there is any bank loan with respect to the same, and the mode of payment, whether it is through check or bank transfer or by demand draft, etc. Fourthly, when will the possession of the property will be handed over by the seller to the buyer. Fifthly, the seller takes the responsibility to compensate the buyer in case of any loss caused to the buyer for non-payment of taxes, dues or fees by the seller till the time of sale date, or if the ownership of the seller is in question and which arises after the execution of sale deed. Sixthly, in case of default or non-compliance of prescribed conditions of sale by either the buyer or the seller, then the aggrieved buyer or seller has the right to cancel the sale deed. Seventhly, in case of dispute between the parties, then the course of action need to be prescribed. That is, whether they need to approach the civil court having the jurisdiction over the area or whether they resort to out of court settlement, that is by arbitration. Then the number of arbitrators, place of arbitration, etc. need to be stated in the sale deed. Finally, name and address of two witnesses need to be mentioned in the sale deed. It is important to note herein that apart from the essential clauses I mentioned, you can add essential clause based on the circumstances of each case. Now let's see what are the documents required for sale deed registration. Aadhaar card, PAN card, 2 passport size photographs of all buyers and sellers, Aadhaar card of 2 witnesses, final copy of the sale deed, stamp duty and registration fee receipt, the receipt issued by the seller with respect to the sale consideration paid by the buyer, original power of attorney if any of the buyers or sellers, registered previous sale deed in case of resale of the property. If the property there is a bank loan, then bank loan statement, the extract of the government register where the name of the seller is entered into as the owner of the property, and the details of the property as recorded in the government register. These are the documents required for sale deed registration in India. Now let's see the procedure for sale registration in India. First of all, the sale deed needs to contain all the relevant important clauses that we discussed above. Secondly, make sure the conditions prescribed in the sale agreement is fulfilled or not. For example, if there is a condition in the agreement of sale regarding purchase of a house where the seller agreed to resolve all the disputes or litigations regarding ownership of their house amicably, then the buyer need to verify whether these disputes or litigations are over or internally resolved by a consent agreement between the parties. Or if there is a sale consideration agreed by the buyer to be paid in a particular manner, then the seller need to verify whether those conditions are fulfilled by the buyer or not. Thirdly, registration fee and stamp duty need to be paid, and it is normally paid by the buyer. Registration fee and stamp duty is calculated based on the circle rate or the actual sale deed consideration mentioned in the sale deed, whichever is higher. Circle rate is the market value fixed by the government with respect to that property, the amount below which the sale transaction cannot be registered. For example, with respect to a sale of a particular property where that circle rate of that property is 10 lakhs of rupees, then the sale below 10 lakhs of rupees is not valid. Further, if the circle rate of the property is 10 lakhs of rupees and the market value as mentioned in the sale deed is 20 lakhs of rupees, then in that case stamp duty and registration charges will be levied based on the sale deed value because it is higher than the circle rate. In Delhi, the registration fee is 1% and the stamp duty is 6% for male, 4% for female and 5% if it is jointly by a male and a female. In state of Maharashtra, depending on the locality, the stamp duty varies from 3 to 7% and the registration fee is 1%. In state of Kerala, the registration fee is 2% and the stamp duty is 8%. Thereafter, take an appointment with the sub-registrar office and on the day prescribed, all the buyers and all the sellers and 2 witnesses need to be personally present. If the buyer or the seller has a power of attorney holder, then the original power of attorney holder need to be personally present on behalf of the respective buyer or seller. In the sale deed, the signature and thumbprint of the buyer and seller are required and thereafter biometrics for photographs and fingerprint will be taken by the authority concerned. After successful registration of sale deed, the registered sale deed can be collected from the office of the sub-registrar within a prescribed number of days, normally around 15 days after they scan the registered sale deed in their system. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Meet you in the next episode. Till then, stay tuned.